do you have a personal philosophy that you have a tie down to that really directs you every day? Or is it a multitude of ideas? Is there just one that is like, this is your thing that just operates, even though, we don't like absolutes? Is there an absolute like philosophy that drives you?
I don't know that I have one, but I will tell you there is one that is very, very strong that I look at and think about every day. And it's from Ralph Waldo Emerson. It's a quote. And God will not have his work made manifest by cowards. And it's from his self-reliance essay, or that he wrote, short paper that he wrote. And it's actually wonderful. You can download it online. It's free. It's all over the place. I highly recommend people read it, especially if you're on a personal development journey. There's incredible thoughts in there, but there's this one line, right? God will not have his work made manifest by cowards. And I don't think you have to believe in God in order to understand what's being said, which is be courageous in your life. And courage doesn't mean grabbing a sword and running onto a battlefield. That's not what I'm talking about. Courage could be sitting your child down and having a really tough talk about why you're going to restrict technology. Courage could be standing up in the meeting and sharing a viewpoint that isn't going to be popular, but that you believe is right. Courage could be sitting down with your wife and talking out how you're going to fix a financial situation that you've created, or something like that, right? Courage is those moments where every fiber of your being is telling you, I don't want to do this, but it has to be done, and actually doing the thing. And, that quote just brings me back to that all the time. Like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do it. Well, you know what? God's work isn't made manifest by cowards. Go fucking do the thing. And, you just do it.
Do you think that, so there's supposedly, who knows how many are legal, undocumented, legal, whatever the word is, 350 million of us in the country.
Yep.
Who knows really how many, but that's the number that we kind of use.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know I came from a blue collar background, probably similar to yours, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't around wealth, didn't understand financial literacy, public education, financially poor. This world of social media is opening up the possibilities and what every human's capable of. But there's a lot of people out here, man, that aren't taking the actions to have or live that type of life. And it's driving them crazy, and I don't think they know what to do.
So I have a question for you. If you are a driven person who values personal development, you're trying to become the best, you're on the path. Where you are on the path doesn't matter, but you're on the path to becoming the best version of yourself, right? What is your obligation to the lazy slob who refuses to take responsibility for their life?
What is your obligation? Yeah. I have an obligation to overall society that gave me an opportunity, that all the generations that came before that set this up to be the best country because it gives us the greatest opportunity in the world. That's the obligation. I have an obligation to put back into the system. That's my personal obligation.
Yes.
And I can't worry about if those other people don't, but I have no individual obligation to that person. None.
So completely agree with you. This is where I think we've missed the mark. And a lot of this comes from woke leftist ideology, because I'm sorry if you're listening to this and you're on that side, but your shit doesn't work. Like, you don't have a case study where leftist ideology has worked, right? Socialism doesn't work, and all of it skews towards that thing. So my point in saying this is, instead of taking every person, regardless of their willingness to take any level of personal responsibility, and forcing them up, and this is the more poisonous thing, is dropping all the standards to meet that person who wants to sit on the couch, be 400 pounds, take diabetes medicine, and order fucking DoorDash all day.
To make them feel better about themselves,
yes.
That they're overall reducing society to F us all.
Instead of that effort, how about we just create infinite opportunities for them if they're willing to take it, and we be okay with them, languishing on the couch in their own mess and not being part of society. Like, where did we lose? This is what I'm interested in. Like, where did we lose that, like, I like survival of the fittest idea. And I don't mean that to be draconian. I don't mean like the like masculine, like Instagram, survival of the fittest. I'm not talking about that. I'm saying that like these people would have been cut out of the herd even 200 years ago. 200 years ago, they would have been shuffled aside because then we had scarcer resources, right? So we had to conserve our resources for the individuals who were contributing to the tribe. That's what we had to do because we had scarce resources. All of a sudden, resources become abundant. And now what happens is, Mark, you're not allowed to be the best version of yourself because the portion of the resources that would have went to you because you're a hard charger and you're driven and you employ people and you rise up and you empower and you're creating opportunity, right? You get to have less so that we can take this person who doesn't give a shit, who doesn't want to contribute, who doesn't take any personal responsibility. We have to prop them up.
But Ryan, it makes them feel bad about themselves.
Yeah, but tough. That's fucking life. That's life. That's what I don't understand. Like, we have so diverged from reality, right? The world doesn't give a shit about us. The universe doesn't give a shit about us. The lions and tigers and bears don't care about us, right? You have a responsibility to protect your family, to take care of yourself. If someone breaks into your home and you don't have a fucking gun because you don't believe in guns and your house gets robbed or your family gets fucking terrible happening to them, that's your fault. That's your fault. You didn't protect yourself. If you don't have money, right? It's not because the government stole it. It's not because someone did. It's because you didn't make the decisions necessary. And we all have fuck ups. I'm not talking about mess ups, screw ups, bad things happen. I've been fired. I've had financial pressure at different times in my life. But then you know what I did?
You took action.
You
cried for a couple of days. Yeah, you had a bad
Yes.
week or a bad month. Yeah, you didn't stack bad years on top of each other with not taking action, not taking personal responsibility to have the outcome in your life you want.
Yes,
right?
and guys,
So-
I'm not saying you're not allowed to be depressed or have a bad day or feel shitty about yourself. That happens to everybody. But like, get back to work. You feel good when you're doing the things.